Hey everyone, Nella here. Hey. I'm petting my cat so he hopefully will not come back in the frame because I've tried recording this video several times and I keep getting interrupted by other people in the house, by phone calls, by my cat. So let's try this again. So, like I said at the end of the previous video, I have decided to stop trying to force my Lily C to be Ethel because she just isn't. Ethel is an awkward teenage girl who is trying to be more mature and worldly and womanly than she actually is. And though she gets better at being sophisticated, she never manages to pull it off. And there's no doubt about it that this doll pulls off sophisticated and classy. Even, as you can see, even when she's not wearing pants. She still looks far more classy than Ethel would in the finest ball gown. So I decided to make her a new character because she is one of my dream dolls and she's the dream face-up that I wanted for this sculpt. So I'm just gonna make a new character because I love her as a doll. But I haven't been wanting to touch her or play with her because she's kicky and because she just wasn't working out for the character, so she was kind of like this constant reminder of my failure. Sounds a bit harsh, but it's true. Anyway, so her new character is Lily Dahl, and I actually don't have much more other than that for her. I didn't even have a name up until about 2 hours ago for her. I have been calling her Dahl in my head for about 2 days now, and I thought at first that it would either be her last name or it'd be short for Dahlia, which is the first name, and flower related. But the thing is, first off, I don't like what dahlias look like that much. And secondly, I don't care for Dahlia as a name, and particularly for this girl. It just didn't really fit. It was actually my mom who suggested Lily as her name, to keep with the flower theme, and decided that it's short for Lillian. So her full name is, let's go back down. That's not her full name. Her full name is Lillian Dahl, and unlike Ethel, who's at most 16. Most. I think that's the oldest I wrote Ethel at. Usually Ethel's about 14. Lily, on the other hand, is actually a young woman. The reason I decided to go with a flower name, and in addition to just suiting her, I mean, she kind of looks like a lily, is because the song that has been playing in my head every time I look at this girl and try to figure out her character. And that song is actually from a Disney movie. It's from a Disney princess movie. And it's Mother Knows Best, from the Tangled movie. Specifically, this girl is really kicky. Specifically 2 parts of the song play in my head when I look at Lily here and try to figure out what her story is. And the first one is Guess I always knew this day was coming. Knew that soon you'd want to leave the nest. Soon, but not yet. Trust me, pet. Mother knows best. I should have warned you about my singing, but it's easier than me just saying the lyrics. I find just saying song lyrics always sounds worse than singing them. Singing sounds more natural, as strange as that sounds. And basically because of that verse, I'd also been referring to her as Pet in my head. So I don't know, maybe she has someone in her story who treats her like that, kind of shelters her, and protects her from the outside world, or tries to. I'm not sure. And whether they're doing it to be manipulative, or whether they actually think they're doing the right thing, I don't know yet. But that kind of resonates with what the impression I'm getting from her. And the second bit was actually where the flower reference comes in. It's okay, see if I got this one. Okay, this one I am going to just speak it. Fragile as a flower. Just is it? Yeah, fragile as a flower. Because the sense I get from Lily here is that she is very fragile and delicate. And part of it actually comes from her mold. Not her mold like her face, but rather her body mold. You can't really see it so much when she's kicking her legs up and wearing stockings, but both her wrists and her ankles are very delicate. It actually makes her feet and hands look oddly out of proportion at times. And this jacket that I have her in right now, I have her in it because it's probably the classiest thing I have, and the closest thing to a evening gown that I have, which is what I imagine Lily wearing. When I look at this girl completely devoid of what made her Ethel, then I really can imagine her wearing like very flowing gowns, but her actual body mold really makes me think of kind of a fragile person. I mean, like, look at, even just like her back is just so delicate and dainty. Her front is not so delicate and dainty, by the way. That's kind of why I'm shielding it. But the sense that I get from her is that she is this very fragile sort of person. And I kind of don't have much else at the moment. So if anyone has any suggestions for character traits, I'd love to hear them. Because all I've got for her right now is that her name... Okay, you can't even see how big her breasts are. That's what I mean. Not fragile. Not fragile. All I've got for her so far is that, like I said, her full name is Lillian Dahl. She goes by Lily. Her nickname, or one of her nicknames, is Lily of the Valley. Both reference to the flower and also to the fact that Dahl actually means valley. So her name itself actually means Lily of the Valley. And the other bit that I have is that she is a very delicate, sophisticated, classy young woman, but she is also quite aloof and detached from other people. So if anyone has any other suggestions, let me know. Both Lil and I would really like to hear them. And otherwise, and yeah.